Sonic Coffee. Let's listen to the track. Well, there's a track. So I thought I'd do a quick breakdown of what's in the track. It starts off with this, just like a really weird arpeggio, I guess. There's some pitch slides in there. This is from FM Synth Clap, which I got off the Discord. I am sorry, I don't know who made that, but thank you for making that. Just some filtered noise and a little sub drop. So I've dropped the volume of this bass on this note here, just so it doesn't clash with the kick drum as much. So it's like faking this side chain there. So this is just like a weird noise I've made. And that high saw swarm is kind of the melody in this point. So it goes from which carries through. So this is like a bit of a homage to LSDJ tracks I used to do. It's like a really noisy bass line. It's using wavetables. And how am I doing that? Changing the timbre by a random amount, I guess. And then it's just a classic bringing in different chords, which I've used a transpose on here to do that easily, to save chains. And this is the big synthwave breakdown, so got a big low pass filter on there, so it sounds in the background. So this is a vibrato. And the big synthwave pluck is probably a saw swarm, yeah. And I've got an LFO on the cutoff, so it brightens up a bit. And also to make the pluck, it's got it on here as well, on the envelope. In the past, I think I would have done pitch on here as well. Just to make it sound scary. I'll turn that off. So this is like very LSDJ like, so it's on the WAV synth 25 pulse, but then I changed the oscillator here to a 12 pulse. It just gives that LSDJ sound. And that's got the extreme vibrato on it. Is that? Yeah, it is extreme. To give it that dirty sound, which was I used to use all the time in LSDJ. And this is a heavily delayed LSDJ style arpeggio. And these arpeggios really bring out the groove, which is set to 7/5. So if I put that to 6/6. And this is like a classic LSDJ sounding wave synth. No, what would it was? Wavetable bass. It's the wave channel here. And you can see it's just set to D. And I've transposed it up to B flat there, and I'm getting those different notes from the table, which starts it off an octave lower than the normal note and then an octave higher. And I'm also using the volume here to give that fake side chain in. Kick drum comes in. It's just classic filtered noise for the hi-hats. And this is that clap, and then got some wave synth noise. And this is where the track really opens up. So I've got that same pluck which was playing on this channel. I've duplicated that and then duplicated the instrument as well, but made it brighter by turning the cutoff down a bit. This is just a sub bass to fatten up the bass line. And this is just the bass that I'm using a hypersynth here. Just a single note though. Oh, no, octave. I've got an octave in there. And got the actual sub on as well. So it's actually playing 3 notes. Just a simple bass and snare. And noise hi-hats, but I'm panning the closed hi-hats. Oh, no, I'm panning them all. Just panning it all around to thicken it up a bit. So to get this kind of sound, I normally put the low pass quite like halfway, turn up the res, and then put a post or post add on with quite a high amp. And I've got an LFO on the cutoff there just to give it a bit of an interesting sound, and panning that as well. And this is the most interesting thing I think. So this is the absolutely wonderful hypersynth that was added in the 3.0 update. We can play different chords. So I've got all these different chords set up here, and you can see that in the FX column, I'm changing the chord on the go. And you can see that if I just play it. The hypersynth is just amazing. Now, this is what I would call a Trey fray drop, where you come in on the snare rather than the kick of a phrase. So it's and this really, really cheap and nasty little sub sweep here. And I've got a kick drum playing backwards just to emphasize that. And this is where I bring in this lead. I was going to do this last bit without a bass on at all, just so you hear it kind of ringing out. But it was good for the context of what the chords are, because in the chords I've got a... So this stays on like it's a D minor 7th, but with the bass, with the C, so it's like, what is it, D7 over C? It just didn't sound right without the bass. And a massive user of really heavily reverberated filtered noise sweeps. So I do this with the LFO here, so is on the volume, and I set the trigger offset when it's played, so I know how long it's going to play for. It's just got loads of reverb on it and delay. Yeah, and that's the track. I've got loads of bits here where I was trying different things. I have this in most of my I wonder why that bit didn't make it into the track. So that's awful. This is now on Bandcamp, Sonic Coffee, and it's got another track on there called Snow, which I will just show a little bit of. There it is. And this is a track, the first track I made when the Hypersynth came out, just to show how great the Hypersynth Yeah, the Hypersynth is so good. So yeah, that's included as well. Both projects are in the Bandcamp bundle, and they are named with .mov, but if you get it, just rename the .mov to .zip, and then you can unzip it, because you can't add zip files to Bandcamp. But anyway, thanks for watching. I've got a few more singles to release in the next few weeks, so thank you. See you next time.